Okay, so I'm guessing your problem by looking at your answer is you've just typed something wrong into your calculator. But I'm going to make the assumption that you haven't, and I'm going to do the problem kind of just to see if you can find where you made your mistake. So the first thing the problem is saying is they want it in terms of, let me get this menu up, there we go. They want it in terms of x and y. So I'm going to take my x and y, both these columns, and just move them over to the right-hand side. So I will rewrite this as my z's in the first column, my first column, my w's in the second column, third column x's, fourth column y's. Okay, so here we go. My matrix would look like 1, -4, 1, -12, and the equals always has to go on the right. There we go. So there's the first equation. And remember, this is your z's, w's, x's, y's, equal sign. Okay, so then the next column would be 1, 5, 7, 6, 2. Then the final one would be 2, 1, 8, -6, 3. Okay, so by doing it this way, now I should get my equation dependent on x and y. So I'm going to go ahead and type that into my calculator. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while I do this. But just a reminder, we're going to go into the matrix screen, arrow over to edit, hit enter. And this is a 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 by 5. Okay, so now we can verify we have all the right entries. My first column should be 1, 1, 2. So we'll double check that. Whoops. Here we go. 1, 1, 2. -4, 5, 1. 1, 7, 8. Okay, now I'm going to arrow over to see my other ones. -12, 6, -6, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and quit out, go back to matrix. I want reduced row echelon form. Now I want a reduced row echelon form of matrix A. So when we run that, we get decimals, so I'm going to change that into a fraction. So now, there we go. I see my row of zeros on the bottom. The third row is turned to row 0, so that means that I still have okay solutions. So now let's read off the equations for the other two lines. Okay, so the first line, remember it's z, so it's 1z, 0w's plus 11 thirds x minus 4y equals 13 ninths. So if I want to put my answer in terms of x and y, do you see I do have x and y already here? So I'm going to go ahead and solve this equation for z. So that means z equals -11 thirds x plus 4y plus 13 ninths. So there's my first one. Now we have to do the second equation. So my second equation here would be, so this first equation. Second equation would be, I have to look back. My variables were w. There we go. All right, so w plus 2 thirds x plus 2y equals 1/9. So now, solving for w, so it's in terms of x and y, that gives me w equals -2 thirds x minus 2y equals, sorry, not equals, plus 1/9. There we go. So there is both of my answers. I have in terms of z and in terms of w. So now I'm ready to write my solution. Sorry, not in terms of z and w, excuse me. In terms of z in terms of x and y, and w in terms of x, y. There we go. So my x and y are arbitrary. I can pick them to be whatever I want. Z is -11 thirds x plus 4y plus 13 ninths. And then my w, we fill that in, -2 thirds x minus 2y plus 1/9. And there's my answer. So now let's go and verify that's exactly what WebAssign was looking for. Excuse me. Okay, so I do have your answer up. So what you'll see, let's go over here to WebAssign, and you'll see it's not quite what they were looking for because they have it as a factored out of 1/9, but I'll tell you a little secret. it'll give you the right, it'll say you're correct. So whether you factor out that 1/9 or not, you'll still get the answer right. Okay, because the reason they factor out the 1/9 was just to clean this up a little bit, because you see everything's divisible by 9, lowest common denominator, so they did that. So unless the directions say you have to do that, which it does not, yeah, the answer will work. Okay, I hope that helped. Let me know.